Rural Development. And I'm in Albuquerque, New Mexico at the offices of Kelly Cable. Kelly Cable is our host for this virtual event. And we originally intended to have an in-person event here with Kelly, but in the face of COVID, we chose to be cautious and celebrate virtually. So thanks to Eric Harmio, Brian Shallop, Neil Johnson, and Kelly's president, Mike Ford. Now, the purpose of this morning's virtual meeting is to recognize 4 of our great New Mexico cooperatives and their commitment to make life better in rural New Mexico through broadband connection. I'm excited to tell you we're joined by a very special guest this morning, and I'm very anxious for you to meet her. For a few comments in recognition of our ReConnect recipients is USDA's Deputy Undersecretary for Rural Development, Betty Brandt.
My name is Betty Brandt. I'm USDA's Deputy Undersecretary for Rural Development. And I really do prefer to make these announcements in person, but this has been an unpredictable and difficult year. And I'm thankful to have the broadband connection to be able to meet with you virtually today. The reality is that there are 21 million people that are not so lucky to have a connection to high-speed internet. And 80% of those 21 million happen to be living in rural America. In this day and age, all America needs robust, modern infrastructure to thrive. It's a necessity and not an amenity. And this pandemic has only highlighted the digital divide even more. If you have access to high-speed broadband internet, you can incorporate precision agriculture technology in your agribusiness. You can participate in distance learning, and your children can continue their education. You can access life-saving medical services remotely using telemedicine. And you can continue to run your business and keep your staff employed from your home. Under the leadership of President Trump and Agricultural Secretary Perdue, USDA is fully committed to deploying high-speed internet e-connectivity to the nation's rural communities for these very reasons. And today, we are announcing an investment of $20 million to connect more than 1,400 households to high-speed broadband in rural New Mexico. USDA is partnering with 4 organizations to do this, and they are SWC Telesolutions, who will use $6.1 million ReConnect grant to connect 1,630 people, 31 businesses, 9 farms, 5 fire stations, and 2 post offices to high-speed broadband internet in Sierra County. Continental Divide Electric Cooperative will use $1.1 million ReConnect grant to connect 85 people, 4 farms, and a business to high-speed broadband internet in Cibola County. LECO Rural Telephone Cooperative will use a $4.5 million ReConnect grant to connect 170 people, 29 farms, 5 businesses to high-speed broadband internet in Eddy, Chavez, and Lee counties. And finally, Penasco Valley Telephone Cooperative, who will use an $8.1 million ReConnect loan to connect 1,173 people, 7 farms, 6 businesses, 3 fire stations, and a post office to high-speed broadband internet in Chavez, Lincoln, Eddy, and Otero counties. Every one of these 4 organizations are setting a great example for the rest of the country right here in New Mexico. They're showing that no household, no business, and no person should be left behind in this critical infrastructure deployment. To be more productive, to access better opportunities, and to keep up with the rest of the world, every American household needs access to high-speed broadband. Thank you for partnering with USDA to make it happen in rural New Mexico. USDA will continue to work at the direction of President Trump and Agriculture Secretary Perdue to ensure all Americans have access to high-speed broadband, because we know that when rural America thrives, all America thrives. Thank you, and back to you, Blake.
Thank you so much, Betty. I'm so pleased you're able to join us today, and we look forward to a time when you can come to New Mexico and spend some time enjoying the land of enchantment with us.
I do too.
I don't know if you know, but I was raised in rural New Mexico on a ranch on the Llano Estacado. That's the eastern rolling plains. And our electricity and telephone service both were supplied by rural cooperatives. Broadband was a thing of the future, but thanks to the ReConnect program provided by USDA's Rural Development, more and more rural New Mexicans are able to enjoy broadband connections that provide for distance learning, telemedicine, and business connections that we all need to survive in this virtual world. Now, I'm anxious to hear a few words from each of our ReConnect recipients, and I hope you are too. Let's hear first from John Bedell, the CEO of SWC Telecommunications. John?
Thank you. And Deputy Undersecretary Brandt, State Director Curtis, and all of the other folks with USDA online with us this morning, and my broadband brothers and sisters here in New Mexico. I want to tell you how pleased we are to be the recipients of a USDA ReConnect grant to provide broadband services to the underserved and unserved areas in Sierra County. I first want, though, to recognize and thank people here in New Mexico who made this possible for us and who collaborated with us to gain this remarkable award for the benefit of Sierra County. And those are the leadership of the Sierra Electric Cooperative, headquartered in TRC, New Mexico, and Bruce Swingle, who's the county manager for Sierra County, as well as the New Mexico Department of Information Technology, who held our hand through this process too, specifically Secretary John Salazar of the New Mexico Department of Information Technology, and his very able internet champions, Kendra Karp and George Clark. It really takes a village, and as Undersecretary Deputy Brandt has alluded to, it is a huge challenge that we all recognize to get broadband, particularly at the speeds of 100 megabit or a gigabit to the home in rural areas. And it's only with people pulling together and communities pulling together can we make this happen. And again, with our allies in Washington, our USDA allies on the ground here in the Southwest, and our broadband champions at the community governmental levels, and with our local co-ops, we can make this happen. We can make or achieve more success stories here for New Mexico. Our project includes 271 miles of fiber cable. 235 of those miles are mainline fiber, connecting one area with another area in Sierra County, and 36 miles of fiber are actually customer drops going directly to customer homes. As the Deputy Undersecretary Brandt has said, we are going to be serving almost or over actually 1,600 locations. And this will be a new opportunity for Sierra County. It'll be one of the most wired, and when this is completed, one of the most wired counties in the state of New Mexico, matching the speeds that are available now in even portions of Albuquerque, New Mexico. And we remain committed to closing the digital divide for our rural communities here in the state. And this proposed fiber to the home project will enable Sacred Wind to provide reliable broadband connectivity to most of the residents in Sierra County, businesses, fire stations, and post office as well. By expanding broadband access, we ultimately hope to enhance the socioeconomic, educational, and workforce development opportunities available to the residences and businesses and other essential community facilities rather in the county. And speaking on their behalf and on behalf of all of the able employees in Sacred Wind, I want to thank the USDA for establishing such a program and enabling such success stories to occur here in our humble state. Thank you.
Thanks, John. That was John Vidal, the CEO of Sacred Wind Communications, Telecommunications. And next we have the Assistant General Manager of Continental Divide Electric Cooperative. Robert, are you there? Robert Castillo.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, Robert.
I think I have a camera now, so I have visual capacity. Can you see me?
Yes, we can see you too.
Okay. I just want to be brief and we are so appreciative. And I want to thank you, Mr. Curtis, and the USDA staff for this grant opportunity that you have given us. We almost missed out on it because we were a little bit delayed in replying because we had an employee who got married and left the state of New Mexico, and she was our point person. So we never got the email. So we appreciate the reminder and the request from you as to whether we really want this opportunity or not. So we were just so ecstatic to be part of the group. We intend to put this money to very good use. We offer broadband to the premise. And so typically, historically, we've been borrowing lots of money to get this done. As you all know, it's extremely capital intensive. So this is our first significant grant that we've received. So again, you don't know how much we appreciate it. This is going to be a good jump start for us. We've already made, like I said, quite an investment in the local communities that we serve. And we were a startup about 3 years ago. And so far, we are up to approximately 2,000 customers on our system. And they really appreciate the local cooperative, our members do, bringing broadband to them, especially during these COVID times. You know, when we first got into the business, we were at the threshold, really, of broadband. The question was, is it a necessity or is it a luxury? And at the time, in 2017, people were telling me it's a luxury. And we said, well, we think it's more going to be a necessity. And I mean, we didn't have the foresight with respect to COVID, but we had this sense that people were going to be needing broadband. And lo and behold, here we are, where broadband is most definitely a necessity in today's world. And so with this grant that you have given to us, we'll be able to serve about 85 homes in a very rural area that would not otherwise have gotten the opportunity for high-speed internet. And we offer up to 1 gig service in our territory. So people in rural areas, when they find that they can get better service than what many people in Albuquerque are getting, they are just so excited. So with that, I just want to say thanks again and pass the baton to the next recipient. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Robert. That was Robert Castillo from Continental Divide Electric Cooperative, and he was talking about the time frame. We owe Brian Smith a considerable amount of recognition for his hard work. He is a tireless USDA employee who makes sure that deadlines don't get in the way of our applicants, and so thank you to Brian. Now, representing our third recipient is Sid Applin, the General Manager of LECO Rural Telephone Cooperative. Sid?
Good morning. How are you? I'll second those kudos for Brian Smith. He is awesome. First, I'd like to say how excited LECO is for the support of the USDA ReConnect Program. It's helping to bring a much needed state-of-the-art service to our very rural area of New Mexico. With the events of the COVID pandemic, the need for robust, reliable broadband is recognized daily in our lives for students, businesses, and emergency services. This need is exaggerated in our rural areas where those students and businesses lack access to the necessary information and services they need to succeed. Our project will bring a fiber deployment of 205 miles of both middle mile and fiber to the prim that'll serve the north and northeastern portions of Lee County. This fiber deployment will serve 5 proposed service areas with up to 1 gig of bandwidth for those students and businesses. The area is currently served with copper and wireless products, which only deliver dial tone, low speed internet, and they have little to no cellular in that area. So again, LECO is very excited to partner with USDA, our local county partners, to bring this service to a very needed area. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sid. Now, last for comments is Kurt Gerard from Penasco Valley Telephone Cooperative. Kurt.
Thank you, Deputy Undersecretary Brand and State Director Curtis, and other recipients for giving me some time to share a few comments about this wonderful funding opportunity. Tell you a little bit about us. Penasco Valley Telephone Cooperative, we call PVT, is headquartered in Artesia, New Mexico. We have been serving high-cost areas of southeastern New Mexico for over 60 years. As a cooperative organization, our subscribers are the owners, and their benefit is our driving purpose. PVT serves almost 5,000 square miles over rocky and rugged terrain. We operate 6 telephone exchanges in Chavez, Eddy, Lincoln, and Ontario counties. Although we have spent an inordinate amount of time on streamlining and automating our company to provide the best, most cost-effective options to both voice and broadband services, the cost to provide sufficient speeds would be impossible in our very remote locations. We are honored and thrilled to be recipient of the ReConnect Program. A loan of nearly $8 million will provide 110 miles of fiber buried in aerial construction to unserved and underserved locations. This program is instrumental in developing broadband infrastructure to provide high-speed internet to residents, businesses, and farm ranchers in hard-to-reach areas. We have all learned too well the impact of COVID-19 and the need for reliable and adequate broadband. What seemed like a luxury prior to the pandemic is now a lifeline for telemedicine, education, employment, and even social connectivity. PVT accepted Chairman Pye's challenge to keep America connected, and we continue to offer reduced or free programs to assure students in our serving areas have sufficient broadband. We are excited publicly to announce this award and share this good news with our members. Once again, I thank the USDA's insight and dedication to rural America by providing this unique program to bolster sufficient broadband access to as many rural premises as possible. Again, thank you, Deputy Undersecretary Brandt and State Director Curtis, for your time and support of the ReConnect program and the impacts this opportunity will have for our members. Thank you.
Thank you, Kurt. And truly, it's our pleasure to be a part of such a great program. Congratulations again to Sacred Wind Corporation, the telecommunications company, Continental Divide Electric Cooperative, LECO Rural Telephone Cooperative, and Penasco Valley Telephone Cooperative. Congratulations, and we thank you so much for giving us the chance to help New Mexicans. So thank you for being that tool. This is Blake Curtis reminding you that as we go through our day, we each have an opportunity to sow seeds of goodness, kindness, encouragement, and happiness. So wherever you go, whatever you do, remember to sow generously. Thank you and good day.